Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone around the world. I'm Paul Sisler, and this is In the Moment. How is everyone doing today out there in the world? Hello, hello, hello. Hey, if you got Jupiter sitting back there as one of your good money guys and all that, today's Tesla's Investor Day. You might want to put some money in Tesla. Trust me, Jupiter will back you up. Anyways, today on the flow, we of course have our wonderful Shadow Fox. Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Hello. Oh my goodness. This is I love being in the position to learn new things. And I'm truly excited for this segment. I really, really am. We have Kato on the show today, and Kato is going to be talking about a few things that can help and assist us on our journey. And I will definitely let her speak about it. But the thing is, too, that I'm really excited is that she has a new website. Oh my.
Oh
And
my.
we can all go check it out. And I mean, seriously, she does natal charts. And I will just say that this young woman knows her stuff. And this is like, I mean, seriously, I've had some things done before, but let me tell you, this is definitely like a new awakening, and
Oh,
it's
definitely.
phenomenal. Yeah, yeah,
Definitely. She did my chart. And again, at the time, it was like something that I was just interested in and it was kind of exciting for me. And of course,
yeah.
now that I'm waking up, it has even more meaning. But boy, was she accurate. Oh my God. So dead
Yeah,
on.
yeah, and that's just it. And it's like, and this is what I'm so excited about today because just little, I like to call them like little life hacks, right? Little things that we can just, very easily bring into our world. So
Yes.
yeah,
So
I am just really excited.
instead of us just talking about her, let's just bring her in.
Yeah.
Kato, hello.
Hey, Kato. Hello.
Greetings. Wow, you guys had so much amazing energy. I can feel it just like the last two times. It's truly an honor. Thank you so much, Paul and Shadow Fox, for your wonderful, kind words. And also, thank you for letting me dissect into your charts and kind of put forward a little bit of the astrological information. And, you know, Paul, at the beginning, I think you kind of weren't really, open to astrology in that way. But the fact that you're able, as a Capricorn, the sign that is typically like, nope, give me the logic, give me the science, give me the facts, I'm pretty impressed. So there must be something to it, right?
You know,
Well, I'm still that way, but I have a little more guidance going on now, so it feels a lot better. Just to let you know, I got a lot of high winds going on, so there is the possibility we could lose connection. Don't stop, just keep going. As long as it's live, just keep going. But yeah, Shadow Fox, you were going to jump in and say
yeah,
something.
real quick, and I'm just putting this out for everyone that what Kato's going to be discussing, she's going to come in and actually describe it, but definitely if you get a chance now, hey, I'm old school, guys. I am not going to be sitting here typing on a computer somewhere on some, extra site, right? So I have the actual pen and paper in hand, and I will be taking notes because, again, this is where I had, when we started, I said that I definitely thoroughly enjoyed um, learning. And so Cato is my teacher when it comes to this. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Cato, but definitely I have pen and paper. So if anybody would like some information that they can utilize for their sign, or something, there you go. Yeah, yep, you got pen and paper too. And it could be a loved one, it could be children or grandchildren. These are just little things that can, the little life hacks that can help us along the way. So, Cato, with that, please tell us. I can't wait. I'm shutting up.
No, I'm so excited. Thank you. And I just want to say it's so cute and amazing and sweet and endearing to see you guys with your notes because the flow, I'm there with my notes, listening to you guys and taking in the information. It's so Thank you so much, really. So I'm so excited because two of my favorite subjects, the stars and the plants, the planets and the plants, mixing them together. So the last time I was on here, we spoke more about how the planets affect people and how it affects us, psychologically, our personality, and so on. And today it's kind of looking at like, wait, the planets, the stars, they also influence herbs, plants, healing modalities, astrological anatomy. In the last episode, if anyone hasn't seen it, I have to say check it out because Plamedi is an awesome astrologer as well. And
I just have a question. So are you speaking about like a certain plant that may be ruled by a specific astrological sign or planet? Is that what you mean by that? Okay. Okay. Sorry.
yes,
I had to ask.
no, it's very interesting, and I'll try to condense it in the most concise way because we've got Astro-Herbalism, which is the influence of the planets on the herb in different ways. So it's not just looking at the properties of the plant, but even how it grows, the condition it grows in, the color of it. Yes. So there's that. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side, we also have astrological anatomy. And that is really important when we kind of look at applying the herbs, the nutrition with the anatomy. What's also really interesting is that per birth chart. So, we all have our own unique birth chart. Looking at like astrological anatomy and Astro-Herbalism, it provides another lens into healing. Another perspective into healing. And for example, two people might have the same, issue in their health, but the symptoms might kind of look a little bit different, or the way it's expressed is different. And if we look in the chart we can dissect why someone might be, it's really cool.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. So I'll go into that a little bit, but I just want to say that coming for the new year with Aries season, I will be opening on my website astrological kind of nutrition and herb service. So it's kind of looking more at that, and this will be like a little introduction because I feel like that's kind of where I'm moving towards.
That is, and by the way, that is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. That is her website, everyone. And it just, go in, explore, check it out, get in contact with her, because whether you're looking at a natal chart or anything else, she can literally walk you through this for the highest and the best for you. Honestly, it's like, oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, that is beautiful. I'm gonna go explore later tonight. Because I know I saw the very early parts of it, like before you actually, really launched the site. And I saw some of this, but you have testimonials up too.
I do.
And just so everybody knows, down at the bottom, I have a banner going across there. If you missed the website or whatever, Kato's website is on there, www.astrobykato.com. Please check it out. You can get more information on our website.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys. You guys are so awesome. So we'll start with just talking a little bit about the elements. I'm specifically speaking about Western astrology. And that's, I think, just important for the listeners and for yourselves to just be aware, because there are so many different variations. Each system is slightly different. For instance, in Western astrology, our view on the elements is going to be different in traditional Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic. The way air might be expressed might be different. And that's just, but it's amazing because I feel like they're all different layers and you kind of find which modality you need at the time, right?
But isn't it true too, if we, especially if we're just beginning this journey, sometimes just a generalization can give us a starting point. And then we can see what really is we have more resonance with, like whether it be that of the Eastern philosophies along with this, whether it be the Western. But so this is really more of a generality, I think, right?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
So
I found
I'm
that,
just a beginner here.
yes. Yes. No, don't
I
worry.
know enough. I know enough to get in trouble with it.
But do you know, Shadow Fox, what's so interesting and Paul about this subject? And I just ask any listeners, any viewers, or people who will be watching this later, when we talk about the esoteric subjects like astrology, you know, we're very focused in society with the left brain. When we talk about astrology, we kind of need to move into the right brain and the feeling. So although Shadow Fox, perhaps, you know, this particular small little information, but I did your chart and you wanted to know a little bit more about the herbs you need. You've been intuitively telling me, like, I'm taking nettle. Like, as soon as I did Shadow Fox's chart, it was like nettle is great for this woman for many different reasons, which we'll tap into later. So it's, yeah.
Rooibos, red clover, and rose. How does that line up with me?
Oh, yeah. Wait, I think
Having her pull it off the top of her head.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that, Kato?
I feel like I wrote these when I did your chart down, and now I'm like, did I say them or did you just say these are the things that you enjoy? You know? Like,
Well, I know the energy of like rose, you know, helps raise your, you know, your frequency.
Yeah.
Red clover brings in a lot of antioxidants, and rooibos is a energy booster and all that. So
Hey, red clover though. Red clover also helps with the blood.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Clear
Yes.
blood. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
As soon as Paul said rose, the immediate thing I thought was like Venus, bringing in Venus energy, love, harmony, beauty, love. That's like the first thing I thought of when he said rose. I was like, okay, Paul's bringing some Venus energy in here, you know, and the rubeus is, like you said, that energetic essence. I believe also because of its color, it's under Mars, but I'll go into that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, are you gonna like go through like
Yes.
each astrological sign? Okay, good. So like, is the first one like Aries? I mean, come on, we're the babies. I mean, like for real, Jimmy Fry, like middle of the night. You best answer me, or I'm gonna keep it up, right?
Yes. So, you know, there's different ways to look at it. I'm going to go with the planets as opposed to the signs.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to go with the planets and
Okay.
as opposed to, yes, because I feel like with the signs, when we do our charts, for example, we're a mix of everything in different places. So by going through the planets, I feel like it's like, you know, we all have a sun. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yes. So when we look at the sun in
So now
astrology,
Mars rules Aries, right?
correct. And also
Okay.
rules
I'm
Scorpio.
trying to make sure, like, okay, this is okay. I follow. I'm sorry. I'll hush. I'll
No,
hush.
no, you're so good. Yeah. No, you know it all intuitively. It's amazing. And even with the Northern America, the indigenous, how they use the elements and the herbs. I mean, the show with Sarah talking about when to even plant, you know, your herbs and with what moon phase. This, what we're talking about here is taking us back to the roots of it. And I think it's pretty special and magical. So we'll start with the solar.
It is, and she's listening. So Auntie Sarah says
Hey,
hello to you, by the way.
Oh,
Sorry, I got
so,
to put that in there.
so sweet. So let's start with the sun. You know, the sun is our generator, our life force. Once the sun is out, what happens, guys? Game over. So when we are lacking a little bit, maybe with our sun placement or the sun, like the energy of the sun, we might feel a deep fatigue. We might feel depression, a disinterest in life. When we have these kind of symptoms, what I would do is I would look in the individual's chart and look at their sun, their life force, and I would see where is the sun, because the house that it's in will show the area of the life that might be bringing this depression. Is it the relationship? Is it the workplace? Is it, is it the finances? It could be a whole range of things. So that's what where the position, the house is. And then when we look at the planets, how they combine in each individual birth chart, the way the planets behave with each other is kind of like the forces and the functions of the body. So digesting, protecting, and then the sign will show the area of the body that would be affected, for instance. So when we look at the sun, it's no coincidence that the tea that I brewed, I specifically, it's kind of going, but I specifically chose calendula, St. John's wort, and also elderflower. So if we look at these guys, what would you say from these? Like, what is something that's in common with them? Just looking.
They're all in a jar.
Yeah, that's right.
Yellow, green, brown tones.
Nice. Yes, the colors. So these are all ruled by the sun. So it's like a magical potion, learning the properties that these herbs can kind of provide us, because I'm doing this speech and this presentation with you guys. And what do I want to do? I want my sun, who I am, to be shining, to be harmonious. I want to feel confident. I want to feel successful. So we can look at these herbs based on how they look, the color, how, sunflower, it's in the name. It's the flower that is always facing the sun. So we know, the sunflower is ruled by the sun. St. John's wort. This is a special herb that when we feel depressed, for instance, it really can help relieve us out of that depression, help kind of shine that light in, promote that real nice vibrational, vital energy force. So, it's really amazing. And all these herbs have multiple properties. So it's not just one thing it does. Yeah, it can, it can also, you're feeling a little bit sluggish. Well, this is going to help you alleviate the cold. The elderflower is going to, your sun is still going to be enhanced through the use and application of this herb. And I do want to just also say, it doesn't have to be a tea. Some people can't stand teas. You could have a tincture. You can use this in your foot soak. You could put these herbs in your bath. It's so many different ways.
Salad.
Yeah, exactly. You can even like on your altar, or, I love to do sometimes bowls, like petal bowls, and you put like a little bit of the herb in the bowl, and it's like pretty cool.
And depending on what herb it is, it can also be burned.
Yes.
Depending on
I love it. Of course, Shadow Fox, Aries Sun, she's coming in with that. Yep, we can burn it too. And I can't wait to get to Mars, because I think it's just, I was really looking forward to that. So it's like you're already like prepping me towards that. So these are like the sun herbs, our self-expression, our true self. Anytime you're, doing something where you need to have that confidence, that glow, well, these kind of herbs, calendula, all these kind of orangey, yellowy, certain tones, can be really good. And I mean, like, chamomile is not, I don't have it here, but it's not the most giving you the energy and stuff, right? It's more of a relaxing herb.
Yes.
Relieves stress. But it's still part of the sun, maybe, you just need that calming sun energy, and it's all part of the same like properties.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
So we'll go to the moon now.
Yeah.
And this is a nice one. So the moon is more to do with the inner self, more to do with the dream. It really works with the sun as a luminary. It is a reflector. The moods change daily. It reflects rhythms such as the mood, our appetite, fluid levels, and hormones. So this is also the effect that the moon has on our physical body. Okay. And when we use,
I'm writing all this down. Sorry.
no, I love it. That's really good. So, there are, as we were saying, the different herbs can look almost like the actual luminary or the planet, or have certain physical qualities to it. Many lunar herbs actually kind of look like the moon. The almond, for instance, is ruled by the moon. When you peel that almond off, when you take that shell off, it kind of looks like a little bit like some kind of crescent moon, So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool, actually. And I do want to make a mention that herbs can be co-ruled by different planets depending on their properties. Like everything that is a drug would be under Neptune, but it can also have other properties. Yeah.
Could like say an onion or scallions, like the little bulbs from that, would that be something that could be like identifiable that might be from the moon? Okay.
Yes, I'm going to look into that because that's a really good question, And this is why I love these things. It brings more for me to like research and look into,
It's just because that would remind me of the moon, and when you had made a mention of the almond,
Oh, now you got me thinking, Shadow Fox. I need to start looking at all the onions and seeing what they're all. I never thought about that. Really,
we got broccoli too, don't we? I mean, come on, that's something totally different. But come on.
I am willing to bet cabbage is a moon veggie.
Yeah. There was stuff in there for like when you're looking at what is that with the gut, there was some study where in order to heal the gut, okay, because this is where lots of different illnesses and discord comes from, or dis-ease, like not being in ease with the body, that we can bring different foods in, and it's based upon like the elements, right? So this, and what I'm saying is that because we can make all of these connections, everything in some form or fashion. Leaky gut is what it was called. Thank you so much. That just came just in. It was leaky gut. And so there's different ways of bringing this information together, and it's just, here's another perception. So
yes,
continue. Please continue. My pen's getting hot.
I wanted to throw in and all that. See, you know how you eat foods for protein and your body has to break the protein down and then reassemble it into amino acid chains to form whatever new proteins it needs? Cabbage has like no protein, but it has all the amino acids already sitting there ready at best usage to form the chains to best build arteries and capillaries and muscle and all of that. So cabbage is like a huge superfood that most people don't know about.
Oh, I love cabbage. In my traditional cuisine from former Yugoslavia, they always use cabbage. When I was younger, I was like, oh no, why cabbage? But now I love how you've just dissected that, Paul. Really, really good point. I think anyone listening in, and even applying cabbage topically, I know that sounds so weird, but they do that in my culture. Yeah, and it works.
It does.
But I'm curious, though, and all that. Somewhere down the line, we got to find out. I bet you that for some reason, I just know that is a moon veggie.
I'm going to look into it, and I'll definitely let you know. And what would be even funnier is if we actually checked what sign ruled it, and it happened to be Capricorn. I would just laugh. Sometimes these synchronicities are so comical. Like Shadow Fox just was like nettle, and it's like she was telling me about nettle, and I did her chart focusing on the herbs, and this is the thing that was prominent. It's like this woman, nettle is her go-to, and it's like you couldn't make it up.
On my salads, I put broccoli, alfalfa, and red clover sprouts.
Nice.
Just the
Nice.
sprouts. I sprinkle that all on my salads and all that. So, and I use those 3
Nice.
sprouts.
I
Okay.
love that.
Okay, Kato, finish up with the moon.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, but I'm really glad that you mentioned the leaky gut, actually, because
Yeah.
with the moon, it's so connected, you know, the mind, stomach, the mind gut axis, you know, it's
Yep.
so connected. And
Yep.
so many of our issues come from our emotions, which are like held in our stomach, our lunar emotions. And I'm so glad
They're
you
also
brought it up.
they're also stored within the intestines, so it's within
Yeah.
that entire system,
Well, see,
the
now
digestive system. Yeah.
that kind of makes me wonder because last year or maybe the year before, I was diagnosed with diverticulitis, which is an intestinal disorder, and I've been again working on changing my diet, and of course, I'm taking in more cabbage and more raw greens and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. So, yeah, I have. I've always had intestinal issues. So,
Mm.
Kato, it's
Wow.
definitely Capricorn. Kato, I'm sorry.
Well,
We'll
no,
get through this.
no, I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Paul, you know, let's see if like some of these like herbs and certain things and all the things you're doing, you know, because I feel like sometimes we fall into the dis-ease because it pushes us and it forces us to find all these different like modalities of healing and therapy. And it's pretty impressive when you have actual testimonies from people, you know, it's very, very inspiring. So yeah. So a favorite moon herb of mine would be mugwort, and it's very interesting because the Latin name is related to the moon goddess Artemis, and it's Artemisia vulgaris. My Latin with the herbs is not the best at pronunciating, but hopefully you get it. So it's really interesting because you look at the Latin name and it's linked to the planet or a myth or a, you know, a goddess or a god. It's just amazing. And for instance, these moon herbs can help flush out water. You know, if you have too many fluids in, it can also help us get in tune with our subconscious mind. So mugwort is so bitter that if you drink it or if you choose to smoke it in the evening, you may have, I'll say may, but it happens usually all the time, prophetic dreams. It is such a magical herb that can help bring prophetic dreams and tapping into, you know, your subconscious mind on just another level. It's really a fantastic herb. And it's very versatile because not only is it the prophetic dreams herb, but it also helps with the woman's moon time, her menstrual cycle. So it helps regulate it. Or if it's late, if you drink some mugwort. And I also just want to say, you know, we're so used to the kind of Western way of medicine, but like the ancients, and this happens to me all the time. I know it happens to Shadow Fox. You will stumble upon the herb that you need, and you won't even know why you're drawn to it. And then you'll find out about it. And it's like, oh my God, that's how I initially found mugwort. I said, I was drawn to this, and I got a whole bag at home. And now I'm realizing I need it. You know, it's always linked intuitively.
Yes. Yes. Okay,
Nice.
so for moon we have mugwort.
Yes.
sorry about that.
No problem. That's fine. We have passion flower is also by the moon. Fennel is also the moon. Yep. Off the top of my head, what are the moon ones? Yeah, mugwort. I'll can't remember off the top, but I'll maybe for the space or I'll tweet
even
about
if
it.
there's just a couple of them, even if there's just a couple of them, because you know, if we're having it like for the inner self, the dreams, we're looking at even the rhythms. I mean, we can take fennel and literally as we're cooking something, we can put a little fennel in that, so it's being incorporated into the body.
That's right.
Okay.
I do know a vegetable for the moon, actually, randomly, but cucumber. Cucumber.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So I don't know
I
why I
love
just remembered
the
that.
water.
I don't really,
Oh my-
I haven't looked too much at the veggies, but.
My favorite veggie, cucumber.
Oh, nice.
And chop it up and put it in water, man. And, throughout the day, that's, yep. Oh, man. It's so
Yes.
refreshing.
Yes, you see how it doesn't have to always be brewed as a tea, or it can be chopped in a salad. Like, I love that cucumber water has just a completely different texture and feeling and taste. Yeah.
If you're someone that's a juicer, juice apple and cucumber. Very good.
Oh, nice.
Very,
Am I wrong?
very tasty.
That's delicious.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
next,
Shadowbox, you're breaking up a little bit.
It's Paul's lagging.
No, Shadowbox is lagging.
You were too. I think we all were. Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Kato.
because the next one, I'm like, I have to wait for Shadow Fox to be here for because the next one is Mars. So the herbs of Mars.
All right.
So that's
I'm
right.
here.
Martian herbs are really to do with courage, motivation, protecting, but in a different way to how Saturn does. So I think that's really interesting. I will break down the two, Saturn and Mars, because they both offer protective. Mars is more active, okay, with its protection. And it also vitalizes, and Mars herbs can destroy and transform things within us. So breaking down and clearing any waste or dead tissue from the inside of our body. Sometimes when people hear Mars, they're immediately like, oh no, that's like the anger. And it's like, this is giving you the courage. This is giving you motivation. There's so, it's so much deeper than just like, oh, war. It's like Mars, the kind of protection that it offers is the sword, it's the sword protection, which is more active, whereas Saturn is more passive, and maybe it's the shield protecting us. And that's kind of how these two planets, they're both big protectors. And it's funny because we get not scared, but people, when we hear about Mars and Saturn in the chart, they're like, oh my God, but it's like, actually, these are like the protectors. Yeah, it might be a little bit challenging, but when you learn that energy and you harness it, wow, like you've got some strong, planets that are there influencing you.
Well, it's really strange that you had said it within that, the way you had said it, because like for protection, my take on it is not, why would anybody create an environment where they constantly have to give so much energy for their protection? So therefore, why create it in the first place? By stepping into a different frequency, by stepping into a different octave, therefore, what would you ever require protection from? And so in doing that, has protection not been given?
Yes.
And
Oh
so,
my.
so like that is the difference. I mean, again, it's a hack, right? So, I mean, okay, go with the protection, especially if you're a brand new newbie. Absolutely, positively do it until you can figure out and come into a greater awareness. Because when you're soaring with the angels, guess what? What do you require? I mean, really,
No, it's true.
But so that is the difference of what you're trying to get, how the two planets actually, like the shield and the sword itself. So if I am the sword, what is there to fear? What would you have to perform? The shield would have to have protection from the sword. See?
Yes.
Sorry, I had to put that out there.
No, don't ever apologize. That was fantastic.
Like, this is, And this
Wow.
is why, again, I have to, when I get it, I got to give it.
I loved it. Don't ever hold back, because that was a my, oh my moment.
Oh my.
That's right. So with Mars, yes, this protecting herb, it's very, the herbs that are linked with Mars, that are ruled by Mars, they are also very good for the blood, because the blood is
Yeah.
ruled by Mars. So and the first time I ever went to a medium, she said to me immediately, look for dragon's blood resin for your incense. And for example, dragon's blood, is that dragon's blood?
Yeah.
Oh.
Coffee. Ruled by Mars.
When he lifted it up, I was like, whoa, Paul, what kind of concoction? I can't even find dragon's blood resin. I can find the plant, but the resin is really hard to find these days. It's very, I think it's an interesting one. Maybe even hard to extract. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I do know that even for myself, I am so drawn to dragons, Dracos. It's like even within that astrological constellation. So again, it's like that would be in connection with Mars.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And dragon's blood, when I was first told about it from a medium, the reason she suggested it to me, and I'm tying it together now, is she was like, burn this. This is one of the best things for protection. So again, it's seeing how the herbs can be used in so many different forms and ways to it's fascinating.
Is there something where you have like frankincense and myrrh?
Yes.
For what? You don't have to. I'm not gonna. Yeah, don't go nuts on it. I'm just wondering because
100%,
when you were saying about dragon's blood and it being like that clarifying, that protection aspect, so is frankincense, myrrh, Palo Santo, copal.
Yeah.
These are where it changes, and the reason why it works as such is the only thing it does is it changes and alters the frequency and vibration. I mean, even when you look at Catholicism and you're going into a Catholic church and they're out there with the frankincense, what do you think they're doing? They're smudging.
Yeah.
They're energy from everybody being in those pews going boo hoo hoo and praying for something, right?
Yes.
So it will immediately alter and change that frequency so that when people are in those pews that they can rise up to match.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I have A to Z kind of the ones that I've written down and learned, and I know 1,000,000% both frankincense and myrrh are there. I just can't remember off the top of my head, but I will check.
Okay.
And as I expand.
That's fine. I had to put that out there because people, again, there's so many different ways we can take things internal. We can use it through the scent. We can use it, like on an oil on our skins, for instance. So there's so many different ways that all of this can come in. And I'm so sorry. I'm holding you up.
Jupiter.
We're getting to we're almost there. I just want to bring up just a few other ones for Mars. So like, for example, cayenne pepper, pretty obvious, you want to get going, some cayenne pepper. Tobacco is also Mars. It's an active, it's a motivating. People would like to use tobacco in ceremonies or generally because usually it gives them this kind of sense of like motivation, active, let's go. Combining it with other, smokable herbs, for instance. And I have to bring up nettle because this one's just so interesting. So nettle is co-ruled by Saturn and Mars. But when we look at the Martian element, so with Saturn, how it's grown, it's kind of cold, kind of wet, very Saturnian kind of environment, how it grows. But what does the nettle have? Thorns with the stinging juice. And this is so Martian. It's like, it's amazing when you even think about it. It's like, be careful, you might get pricked. But that same herb what it's providing for us, you know, it's eliminates infections in the blood, in the, you know, urinary
Yes.
tract system, regulates our blood flow and pressure, helps with immune system. I mean, guys, it's just fantastic to like kind of look at that. And of course the Martian herb would have its like protection on the outside, wouldn't it?
Yep. Even like the cayenne pepper,
Yes.
the hotness that and again, even when you're looking in the healing aspects, you know, it's like you heal or transmute fire by fire.
Yes.
So
Wow.
you know, yeah. So just little things like this to keep in mind. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love that. Yeah, so well said. The next one, herbs of Mercury. Mercury is for communication, knowledge, and business. Off the top of my head, cinnamon, bergamot, horehound, licorice, peppermint. Those are off the top of my head. Why would we maybe want to use mercury ruled herbs? Well, it can help, you know, anything where we need like high intelligence, business meetings. Allowing mercury rules the nervous system. So making sure we're regulating our nervous system with these kind of certain herbs, even by smelling, you know, like bergamot or cinnamon. This is also giving you enhanced mercury powers in a way. So it's really interesting, and we can compare the mercury and the Martian herbs a little bit in the fact that they're both activating something, but mercury is a little bit gentler. It's not so much maybe for like, you know, going to do a workout, but a work conference, a Zoom call, studying, like it can work really well. Yeah. So for success, go for your, you know, your bergamot.
I have these all natural candies, peppermint, licorice, and cinnamon. And I use them when I go on my walks with my pup.
Oh,
I have the ginger. I have the little ginger.
Yes.
They're not a candy, but they're
like yes, sweet. I know what you mean. They're awesome.
Oh, ginger and honey. I'm telling you. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ginger okay.
Ginger didn't fit in this one, but that's okay. He's talking about goodies. It's like, huh?
So Paul, I know you're super interested with Jupiter. This is the one we're going into. It brings the herb with the honor, the prosperity, the kind of regalness of priestess, priest, philosopher, elder. It brings this kind of very special and unique type of you know, you make me think, because Jupiter is the color purple. I wonder if purple cabbage is under Jupiter or something. I don't know. We have to look into it. The different ones, maybe. Yeah.
Good point.
I wonder if my rose and my red clover and my rubibus fall under Jupiter.
Red clove, I think. Rose is definitely Venus. Sorry, what was the other one you said? Rubius. Yep. I think, yeah, it might be Mars. I'm not sure. I need to look into those ones. Sorry. There's so many, you know, it's hard to remember them all.
You have them on the top of your head, right? Okay. So for Jupiter.
Yeah. Cedar, dandelion.
What is it?
Cedar, dandelion, oak. Oh, and if you even think about the oak tree, like how Jupiterian it is as well in that sense, you know, it's like this very special, wise oak tree. So it's like you can see the qualities in the herbs and in the trees or nature, and how it's reflected as we
And oak trees are a symbol of, they carry great wisdom. Yes. The oaks are very, very strong. Strong wood, you know. So oak is, I mean, that would go along the lines of that of honor, knowledge, you know, the priest, the elder, the knowingness.
Sorry, you're just gonna love this, because you've just made me remember, as you said that, sage is also sage, and then look at the word sage, you know, and the other meaning of sage, the wise one.
Yep. Yeah.
Jupiter,
Awesome.
you were talking about how it's like one of my strong points.
Yeah.
Okay. Shadow Fox, trees,
Yeah.
trees.
Knowledge. I got it. Yep.
Okay. So
Oh,
He's just making a few little connections, like little puzzle pieces are fitting together.
if I was to tell you how many little pieces, even from the things you've said and I've said and us three, and how we're all Sagittarius, Draconic, sun signs, which is represented by Jupiter, I mean, it just literally becomes so funny because it's like there's so many synchronicities with every single thing that we share.
I know.
Yeah. So for Jupiter, so I said oak already, sage, saffron.
Oh, yes.
Saffron is Jupiter. Yep, okie dokes. Moving on to the herbs of Venus, the herbs of the love of arts. Oh my gosh, guys. I mean, look at these beautiful ones associated with Venus. Oh, raspberry, red raspberry leaf,
Oh.
vanilla, Damiana, rose, catnip. You know, the cat's loving that, but it's good for us too. These are all Venetian herbs, and because Venus rules the arts, these kind of herbs really can help us with our creativity, our self-expression in painting, writing, music, dance, anything with artistic expression. But of course, the thing that most people use it for is the arena of love. So it doesn't have to just be romantic love. It can also be friends, family, planet, all beings. Venus really brings that kind of harmonious, that loving, helps us with the creativity expression. And also, you know, having, you know, a Venetian ruled herb with someone who maybe you are having some problems with the heart, or, you know, a family member or a friend or a romantic relationship, you know, sitting down and having that Damiana tea, for instance, or that rose tea, it can help, you know, soften the heart, and those kind of energies can be more present within. So I think that's really cool.
Fantastic.
Yes. Oh, and of course, you know, Venetian herbs also used in like skincare as well, if you think about it, you know. So they use a lot of rose, or like rose water to beautify yourself. And I think these things are like super awesome.
You name like 3 herbs. I only got 2.
Oh, I said catnip.
What was it? Oh yeah,
Catnip.
catnip.
Damiana, rose,
Got it.
vanilla.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You said saffron is
Yes.
an herb of Venus and all that. I'm just mad about saffron, and saffron
is for Jupiter.
me. I'm just mad about saffron. She's just mad about me. They call me Mellow Yellow.
Saffron is for Jupiter.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, saffron's for Jupiter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be co-ruled, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely a little different mixes, because when you take a look at elder, if you take a look at, I wonder about elderberry, by the way. If elderberry wouldn't go for Jupiter. But when you think about it, and you have, you know, that the master consciousness, right? That ascended master, for instance, that would be that part of love. So that saffron, right, could also be included with Venus in a connection, like, because they could be cross-referenced, maybe not necessarily ruled under the same planet, but because you cannot have great wisdom or knowledge like an oak tree without having love, period.
Yes.
You know, so Paul's kind of, he's on the ball here with this. He's got it.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. So the next one is Saturnian herbs, which are the herbs of grounding, of protecting, of stability. And like I mentioned, the kind of environment that an herb or a vegetable or a fruit grows in is very connected with the properties of it. So, for example, garlic, you know, grown in dark places. This is a Saturnian ruled onion, I don't know what I put it.
Mushrooms?
Mushrooms are Pluto.
Oh,
Yes, I can't wait to get to the Neptune and the Pluto. I'm so
excited. Never mind. I thought it was dark.
You know what? I love them all. It's like, how do you choose which one you want to focus on? But
okay, so we have garlic.
Yes, garlic, valerian root that people think stinks. I love it. But that's Saturnian ruled. Skull cap.
Yep.
Willow.
Yep.
Now, cannabis is an interesting one because cannabis is ruled by Saturn, but throughout my studying of this stuff, I've come across that Saturn is actually ruled by not just Saturn, it's ruled by Jupiter as well. It's so magical that there's so many different properties to it.
Yep.
So I think it's really interesting, but I always knew cannabis, marijuana as a Saturn herb. And yeah, so with the Saturnian herbs, what can they do? It can help us with, self-responsibility, structure. That is the message when you're using marijuana or cannabis, because it's Saturnian ruled in the sense that if you are able to use it with responsibility, with structure of some kind of sort, you are using it the most medicinally that you can. I think it's hard for a lot of people, to overindulge in it. But when you're using it really according to the Saturn values, it's really impressive. It's like, wow, like a structured stoner. That's pretty cool.
There you go. Would self-governance come under that, where we're looking at modifying or recognizing, even when you're looking at the stoic aspect, to rein in some of those emotions so we're not just constantly triggered and step into a reaction, but take action instead? So would self-governance kind of fall under that?
I would absolutely say so. Very, very good point, Shadow Fox. Absolutely. Yes, because Saturn really will delay things in your life, but never deny. You have to get to that point of maturity. Yeah. So that's a really nice quote. Saturn doesn't delay. Saturn delays, but never denies. If you do the work, that self-governance, that self-reflection, that taking responsibility for yourself, you will be rewarded. It's just kind of looked down at this planet in a way, because people are like, I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to take accountability. I don't want to self-govern. So then you keep getting these Saturnian lessons that are like, you got to
exactly. Yeah. Because you're resisting it. So what we resist will persist. So.
Oh, there we go. That's it. Yes. I love it. I love it. Okay. So the next one, the herbs of Neptune. And these are the herbs of creative inspiration, mysticism, imagination. Yes. And I love that Shadow Fox brought up, octave earlier, because with Neptune ruled herbs, it's like a higher octave of Venus. So it's still the artist, but it's the mystic as well. It kind of transmutes the Venus energy to another layer where creativity is mixed with fantasy, imagination, intuition. So it's really interesting, I think, to look at like that. And for Neptune, any herb ruled under Neptune has some kind of effect, which is psychotropic, kind of psychedelic-y, shows the hidden self. We are able to access higher and lower levels of consciousness. And this is the one that I'm so excited to share about, because if you think about orange blossoms, there's something I recently learned. The distilled oil from the orange blossoms, when you smell it, when you inhale it, what happens is apparently you can reach a state of, a different state. Like euphoria or? Correct.
Okay.
Yes. and just look at that, like how mystical is that? I mean, I thought this was just a really fascinating thing because you would never really think about that actually, but it's all things to do with trance. So every drug is also ruled by Neptune. Actually, coffee is co-ruled by Neptune because people get very addicted to it. So anything that can be addictive can be ruled by Neptune too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Neptune, we have orange blossom, coffee.
Yes.
Can you do one more?
Neptune, orange blossom, coffee, again, cannabis, any kind of drug like substance.
Gotcha. That would be altering, like say for instance, mushrooms, like magic mushrooms.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Anything that can, alter those kind of states. Yeah. It's really amazing. There's also blue lotus flower.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a really cool one. I have never tried that. I've tried ordering it like 3 times. The first 2 times didn't work. The second time it arrived in London while I'm in Paris now. So I'm really excited for to go back and try it. So I know we're running out of time. So I'll try and keep these two left very quickly.
Okay.
Uranus, the herbs of Uranus. So this is like a higher octave again of Mercury, where Mercury rules the nervous system, but the Uranus kind of governs the electrical flow of the nervous energy itself. And off the top of my head, I've got nutmeg, for example. Yeah, it's like a mild hallucinogenic as well, which is quite interesting. If used in excess, it's not very good, but mildly used in your baking or whatever, it's like a stimulant, which I think is pretty cool. Chicory is also Uranus, so people kind of use that instead of coffee. And also there was one more I forgot though for Uranus. Forgot that one.
You go down south, you'll find a lot of chicory coffee.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot of people who put chicory in their coffee.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's true. That's a really good point. I think actually coffee is also ruled because it can have multiple co-rulers by Uranus as well. Because think about when you drink that coffee, right? It stimulates something and you've got this kind of Uranus. Yeah, exactly. So,
okay, Pluto.
Pluto, the herbs of karma, the unconscious mind. So psychedelic mushrooms kind of go into there. Any of these kind of herbs or grains as well that are Plutonian can help us tap into maybe past lives, the unconscious, mythical archetypes as well. So things that are very embedded in collective consciousness and who we are. So for instance, like Bali is ruled by Pluto, but because of the whole myth with Persephone. That's also pomegranates, because Persephone ate the pomegranates and she was tricked by Hades, the god of the underworld, and had to go in the underworld. And pomegranate juice can sharpen your intuition, and it does have this kind of special properties that can link you to kind of like deeper esoteric kind of truths and knowledge. So mushrooms, any kind of
cranberry.
Could cranberry be ruled? I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Because I do a lot of pomegranate cranberry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
They go very well together.
Yeah.
I drink both of them straight up, man. I'm like, hey, that JD, who requires a chaser for that? Not just.
I love it.
But guys, I did have a wife when I was younger, before kids,
Oh, yeah. And an even cooler life now.
Yeah.
Of course, now I got to rethink Johnny Cash's song, that Orange Blossom Special.
I just learned about that recently, and I was like, this is so interesting. Like, there's so much, but that's just a very general like synopsis of the herbs and their astrological references, and looking at how and why they are governed by certain planets, and also just the effects it can have on us.
Oh my gosh. I got to say, guys, listen, for whoever's tuning in, so on and so forth. If you're listening to this on a replay, please reach out. Kato does. Can you put her website up again?
Yep. Hold on.
Her website. And Kato, are you going to be able to join us on Journey?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, the after party. I'm ready. So I can do a little bit of research for the cranberry, the rubius, and I just saw Diana.
Yes, I know. I was gonna say she's been messaging us and I'm like, oh, poor Diana.
I thought no one was here, but then I realized I was in the private chat, and I've just clicked comments, and I'm like, okay, yay!
Yeah. So, we'll get with her in about a half an hour. So
yes.
And I know Diana had quite a few questions up there, but I saw where we're on time, and it's like we still got 6 more planets to get through.
I know. I know. But Kato, honestly, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this. And it's like I love making all these little connections. It is an honor just to be under your tutelage.
Oh, it's really the honor and the pleasure is all mine. This was so fun. It was such a blast. Thank you for having me. And a really big thank you, because for the whole astrology business, Shadow Fox has been really that amazing, beautiful, energy of the Aries, giving me that push to really follow my dreams. So thank you so much. And Paul, thank you for having this show, because it gives me an opportunity to promote it. So I'm really grateful for both of you, because this is like a new venture for me.
Yep. Oh, and honestly, if anybody is listening and would, like some further information, please check out her website. We will be on Journey Within. Yeah. It starts in about a half an hour. So on Twitter.
Yep. And one of these days I want to connect up with you, Kato, and all that, so we can go through my chart again with all of these herbs and find out what's best for me going through each one.
Yeah.
And
hey, Kato, would you be willing to do another show where we take those herbs and just say if you're Aries or Taurus or whatever? I mean, would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely. I would also like, if it's possible, to just expand it with maybe not just the herbs, but even the modes of exercise. Because
exactly.
That's so amazing.
Yes, let's do that.
I got an idea. Could we, when we do that, could you use my chart and just go through hey, now, Paul, if you were to do this, if you were to do that, kind of explaining it and running it down on how it works so people can get the idea?
I love the Capricorn, because he is making sure we kill multiple birds in so on time.
Not everybody's a Capricorn, Paul.
Well, I know, but this would break down. This would break down how it's applicable, because I have a lot of issues going on. Okay, I was in an accident. I have spinal troubles. I have intestinal troubles. So a lot of these herbs and exercises and stuff like that could be very, very beneficial to me. If people saw how all of this could be beneficial to someone, they might get more in tune to want to, hey, Kato, what can you do for me?
Yeah. Well, I love it. Poor Kato. I love it. No, yeah, but when you think about it, if you have an injury, nerve, right? Yeah. Well, look under what herbs or plants that are ruled by those specific planets. And maybe it's sluggish, so you may have to have a little more stimulant, right? So therefore then this is what this can do. So, but Paul, thank you. I gotta close this down so I can get ready for the next section.
Yes. And even if we don't do it on a show, I want to connect with you and go over it for my own benefit so that I know what to do better for myself. With that said, a Journey Within, less than a half an hour away. Shadow Fox's Twitter is up there. Go to Shadow Fox's Twitter. You'll see a purple circle around her in a half an hour. Just click on that and you'll be able to go to the space, A Journey Within. This
We have the purple glow.
Yes. This Friday, I have the Vellum with T-Paw. If everything goes right, we're probably going to have a special guest, Shawn Michael, on there. Saturday, Comedy and Controversy.
Yep.
I have Jeremy Baker with special guest Sarah Donahue, and we believe that we're going to be talking about sexual orientation and gender and stuff like that. So we're going to go more political, and we're also going to go with the science behind it. So that might be a bit.
Are you having something coming up for the Stoic?
Becoming Stoic Sunday. I still got to connect up with Elizabeth to make sure. She had a family event last weekend and all that. I'm pretty sure she's going to be available this weekend. If so, we're also going to have a Becoming Stoic on Sunday.
Awesome.
So, yes. And I got some huge shows coming up. I'm working with TY and Ty and Tech, Web3 community, and going over some mental health and stuff like that. So he's going to be a special guest sometime in March.
Awesome.
And then on March 20th, I have Matt Myers from the International Peace and Research Association, and he's the Secretary General, and we're going to have a conversation with him on the 20th. So a lot of big things coming up this month. Yes.
And Paul, thank you. And Kato, thank you for your wisdom.
Thank
honestly.
you.
Yes. Remember, journey well, and remember, be kind, be happy, and may good things come your way. Thank you.